Stare back at my horse chestnut tree that is looking pretty healthy last June. That top shoot looks like it wants to start growing like crazy, so I just snipped it back. Trying to keep this tree small is going to be a challenge. Its leaves have reduced, but they're still massive. I'm not quite sure what my plan is with this tree. I'm just sort of letting it grow and then trimming it back every now and again, especially when it looks like it's a little bit too vigorous. It's a pretty ugly tree, but we'll see where it ends up. Maybe in a few years' time it will look a bit better, but I doubt it. Anyway, in September it stopped growing for the year. I think it did alright. I'll show you a few leaves here and you can see they are pretty small. Well, small compared to the trees that are growing in the wild, but they're still pretty massive for a bonsai. In October it started to change colour. It's not amazing, but I still really like it. It's one of those trees where if it had more leaves, it would probably look pretty good. The leaves have a nice multicoloured effect going on. After the leaves are gone, we're kind of left with this terrible looking stick in a pot. As I'm looking at this now, I think that long straight middle section has to go. It doesn't bring anything to this tree, so I'll just have to take that back at some point. In March there's not much going on. I'm just waiting for the buds to start to swell. What you can see here is just starting to happen. Well, you can just see a little bit of green. A few weeks later, and now they're really swelling, and you can tell the leaves are going to open any day now. So it's the right time to repot. I didn't have any trouble getting this out of the pot for once. These training pots are great. Stuff just slides right out of them. It's a pretty solid block of roots, but it's not too out of control. I just started by raking all the soil out. It wasn't too much trouble, and after a while I was left with this. It's actually not too bad. It really only needs trimmed up and it'll be good to go again. So I just hacked anything that was too long back, and after a while I was left with this. It's actually nice and flat. It's pretty radial, and that trunk flare is really good actually. It's just a shame the top of the tree is a bit of a disaster, and those leaves are always going to be an issue. But I'm happy enough of it. At least it sort of has good roots. I then just potted it back up in the same pot as it seems happy enough in there. And here we are in May. It's looking pretty healthy. I love it at this point as the leaves are at their smallest. But even here they're kind of too big. You'll just never win with this tree. And here we are in June. I've had to add some stones around the base as basically the tree fell over at some point with some really strong wind. So now it's not going anywhere. I then just removed that long straight part. It just doesn't add anything, so it really won't be missed. I also really need some new pruners, as this pear is painfully blunt. But I got the branch off eventually. So that's all for this tree for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.